Okay, hello digital animation class. Welcome to the first official day of remote instruction at Saddleback College. Things are changing quickly, so since the two videos that I released to you last week attached to my email, as of right now it looks like we don't have access to the library anymore. On a positive, Adobe has announced that it's going to make the software available free to you all, probably through the rest of the semester. We don't have the link or the way to sign up for that yet. I guess it's a process where our IT had to request it from Adobe, so we're still waiting on the official instructions on that. Hopefully you all have access to a computer, but here's the bottom line. Communication is critical. Like I mentioned on the first videos, you can't just be silent and then 2 weeks later say, oh, well, I couldn't get this done because I don't have software, don't have a computer. You need to let me know your situation right away. Our goal here is to work with you and get you through this class or whatever classes you're signed up for if we can. Now, obviously, there has to be a certain amount of instruction and a certain amount of doing assignments on your part. So we need to see if on any particular situation, can we still proceed? So don't wait. Let me know right away what your situation is that could stop you getting things done for this class, and then we'll see if we can't bridge that gap for you, whether it's just giving you a little bit longer to turn something in, maybe have you do an alternate assignment until the software is available, etc., etc. But definitely let me know immediately. Also, if you have questions, send them right away. If it's 2 in the morning, send the email. It's not like an alarm goes off in my house. I'll see it the next morning, or maybe I'll see it at 2 a.m. I've had some sleepless nights too. Okay, the last video that came out gave you the instructions for how to turn today's work in. So I'm not going to repeat that. You'll see the videos posted in today's announcement, which I'll show you in 1 second. And by the time this video is available to you, it will also be posted in there. One thing I just want to say, related to those sleepless nights and everything, is try, if you can, to actually turn this super odd situation into a positive, or at least into a series of little positives. So for example, just getting through this class might be one of them, where you're like, oh, I remember that horrible time 20 years ago when we were all stuck in our houses. But I got 3 college classes knocked out during that time, or 1, or whatever it is. But also, you're bunkered down. Make the best out of it, rather than just spending all day watching Netflix or whatever. Learn some stuff, right? Go online now and watch tutorials on Animate other than just mine, or maybe beyond the scope of this class, and just learn. That's the best thing that you could be doing right now. I had an instructor who used to tell us that the best way to, or the best place to wait out a recession was in college. And what he meant was, if you get your associates and there's no jobs out there, get your bachelor's. Things get better. They always get better. So if you're feeling bummed out because you're stuck at home and because the weather's been horribly gloomy on top of that, just know things are going to get better and you can come out with some positives. All right, so, and then also my color coding, anything in red replies to this time of remote instruction. And then as you'll see here in the announcement for the following week, I've started to green things out, if you will, that you can just totally ignore. Okay, so right now I'm inside of Canvas and inside of the announcement for today, March 23rd. So these are the videos that I emailed to you. So you watch this entire one, and then you watch from 6:24 to 9 minutes in this one. And by the time you see it, the new video that I'm making right now will be posted in here. So since I've went over all the instructions for today already in those videos, now we can go ahead and move on to next week, the 30th. Okay, and for next week, the one and only thing to focus on is finishing up the midterm. So you will turn this in on the discussion for March 30th. And here's an example of, you see like something that doesn't apply. I just put it in this light green color, so it's kind of obvious that you just fly over that. And the only other thing that's changed because of remote instruction for next week is that instead of giving me the midterm quiz in person printed, you'll just turn that in as a document, a Word document or a text file, whatever you want. I can open them all up. So go to discussions. Where are you? Discussions. Right here in front of me. And then you'll see the one for today. It looks like people are already turning stuff in here. And then for next week, you'll just click on here. And as I tried to show you, but it's hard to show, you should see a button in here that says something about like make your discussion. And then when you do, you'll see the little toolbar up at the top. There should be the little like a thing that looks like a paper clip for attachments, and then you would attach your SWIFT, your FLA, and your document for the quiz in there. Now next week, I will go over the electronic storyboard handout. But what I did want to mention is the storyboard itself, not the electronic storyboard, but the regular storyboard that we've already talked about in some detail, will be due on April 6th. Then the electronic one due on the 13th. I do want to mention a couple things about the storyboard, just to get you thinking about that. It's still the same, basically. You know, in other words, you can still hand draw it. You can still do it digitally. And we'll look at the examples in Prof. Steve G one more time here before I finish this video up. If it is drawn, the only thing that might change now is maybe you can't go to the store and get a blackboard and glue it up. And I'm okay as long as you give us something to view as a group. So what you could do is just take your individual frames, cut them out, put them on a dark surface, get a shot of them with your cell phone, and turn that in. Even if it takes multiple shots, you know, like if you can't fit it all in one frame, maybe it takes 4 different shots. And as long as you follow the convention of giving them to us top to bottom, well, I should say left to right, top to bottom, we'll be able to figure it out. Or you may want to even help us one step further and do what you probably normally wouldn't do and put a little number in the corner of each storyboard. If you're doing them electronically, no problem at all. That doesn't change one bit from what we were talking about. And again, no matter what your situation is, the communication is the key. If you tell me I have no idea how to do this, that, or the other thing, I can include those, you know, little tidbits in next week's video instruction. A little thing worth thinking about for the electronic storyboard, that's again not due till the 13th, but you will need an individual frame of each one of your drawings. You know, each drawing equals a separate JPEG, because you will have to import those into the program to satisfy the electronic storyboard. So the easiest way is a scanner, but not everybody has a scanner at home. So if not, you would need your phone and you know, or a camera. And what you could do there is maybe set up a stack of books and put a piece of tape that this is the exact spot that my camera goes on. And then you can set up your artboard. Or in fact, maybe the better even way would be to have someone move the storyboard at the exact same distance every time. And then that way you get each shot same size, and then you may just have a little bit of cleanup to do to import it into the program. And we'll talk more about that next week. But again, let me know anything that you can't think of how you would get done, and then that way I can show you. And I'll just finish this off by showing the examples of the storyboards one more time, just in case you missed class that day, or just in case you want a reminder. So you go to the steveg.wordpress.com site, and you go into student work, digital animation, storyboards. And that'll take you here. So here's an example of a hand-drawn one. This person did the frames a little bit larger, so that it took them 2 boards. You can barely see the seam right there. This next one, the person did the frames a little bit smaller so that they could fit them on 1 board. And again, if you don't have a board to put them on, then you can just simply get a dark surface, put the things against it. If you're doing them digitally, normally you would have printed them out, then cut them out and put them on the board. But you could just remain in the digital realm, right? Make a big background, either like in another Adobe Animate file, and then bring your individual frames in there, and then take a snapshot of that. You could do a screen capture. A lot of different ways to get things done. Just the bottom line is, by the time you turn this in, that you will have an image that you can share with us so that we can get the critique that we would normally do in class done on your storyboard. Okay, if you want an example or two of a storyboard that wasn't hand done, that was done in the digital realm, then still go to student work, digital animation, but this time go to storyboard with music. Watch this video that's contained in there, and it shows an example of 2 different storyboards. This one right here, and you go a little bit further in there, and then we start to show this one. And heck, if you want, you can look at this whole video. It talks about basically how you set up the electronic storyboard, and it gives you some advice on the storyboard frames themselves. So it wouldn't even hurt to look at it now just for the regular storyboard, never even mind the electronic one that's coming up. So anyway, good luck with everybody. Stay safe. Take this serious. Most young people seem to think they're invincible, which I love the sentiment, but you could be putting grandma or grandpa at risk. So just take it easy, stay positive, and let's get it done.